Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the channel. Today it's a beautiful sunny day in the outer suburbs of Melbourne. Sunny Saturday, so time now is about 10 past 4 p.m. We're just heading into the Bacchus Marsh zone where we completed our last video. We have an Uber quest set up for us tonight, so a bit of a mega one compared to the last one. In this quest, we have 4 sets of 3 deliveries to get through for a bonus, and then on top of that, a 5th set, 4 deliveries for a total of 16 deliveries to get through in the 5 hours between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. So I worked last night as well. We had the same Uber quest presented for us last night. Managed to earn about $200 over the course of the 5.5 hours between 5 p.m. and 10:30. For most of that night, we were doing about $40 an hour, which is unheard of for me. So hopefully tonight we can aim to earn about 200 again, maybe 250 if we have a really good run. Can't expect too much tonight though. Being in Bacchus Marsh, the orders might not be as popular for Uber Eats as they were last night for me. I was working in a much more central location closer to Melbourne, so much more dense and popular there. So I'll see you next time I check in throughout the night, and yeah, hopefully we can knock off this Uber quest as a whole. Alright, so we get into our first order of the night offered to us here. It's quite a large DoorDash shop and deliver through Coles. 20 items, 20 kilometers, and just over $20. Decided not to accept this one. I was heading towards the Bacchus Marsh zone, which I've discussed in the last video. Bit of a home game for me, so saw this order pop up, figured it was quite a large detour, so decided to decline this. In hindsight, probably one I could have accepted to start off the night, to be honest. It's only 4:15 on the time there. The quest was due to begin at 5 o'clock. I probably would have had time to get to the store, complete the packing, and deliver to the customer before 5 o'clock. Like I said, in hindsight, with a clearer mind after the fact, the Melton zone is a populated enough area that I would have been fine starting my quest from there. So we'll see if that one comes back to bite us going forward. And it's not hard to find that it did bite us in the bum. So top left corner of your screen here, we can see the times fast forwarded to 4:48 p.m. before we get our next offer through. So obviously just short of that 5 p.m. start time for our Uber quest, but we decided to take this one, obviously. Well over $1 per kilometer. And as it happens, this is actually a delivery to a cousin of mine. Have a quick catch up and get back on the road. So yeah, quite a nice order just to start off there. So this next order on the screen here comes through to us as we're driving back into town from that first delivery. So just a minimum delivery here. The food was pretty much ready. It was actually a milkshake, if I recall correctly. It was ready when we arrived to the store. So quick and easy delivery here to get done. Next order we have come through, just over $1 per kilometer, 2 pickups for the 1 customer. Just as a general rule with batch orders, so if I get an order for 2 different stores to 2 different customers, I'm probably not gonna accept that unless I'm really desperate. Probably more likely to do one of these, so I could pick up from 2 different merchants to the 1 customer, and then the one I prefer probably the most is picking up 2 different orders from the same merchant to do 2 different customers. Not really sure why I prefer that method. It's probably just, I know as soon as I've got both orders, I can get back on the road and just worry about driving from then on. All right, so we've just received our 4th order of the day, just a minimum pickup from an Indian restaurant here. So I'll just head in shortly to grab that one. Just with the order I just did, not too sure how to sugarcoat this, but that was pretty crap by DoorDash. I got an offer for $8.43 for the 2 deliveries to go to the same customer. It appears they've cancelled one of those as I was driving around. So the full payout was going to be $8.43 for both deliveries. I've now been paid $4.02 for the one. I don't know how they're paying me less than half of the initial offer when I had to drive the exact same amount of kilometers, and there was no notification of cancellation from their end. I just had to figure it out myself. So look, let's move on from that. push on, get this one done, and hopefully we can get a few juicy orders coming through after that. So immediately after delivering that, we get this $1 per 1 kilometer delivery from KFC. Decided not to take this one, keeping in mind that we are in an active quest at this time. So I've got the Uber app going as well, and $1 per kilometer order for just $6 from KFC, which can be quite hit and miss. I was pretty hesitant to pick this one up. Again, back-to-back offer comes through here. This time probably only our first or second order that I'd like to take 10 times out of 10. Our first shop and deliver of the shift is a $13.80 offer for 14 items, traveling less than 6 kilometers. Next order here. So while we are getting on a bit of a roll with back-to-back offers, it's not an Uber Eats offer, which we'd prefer. So we have this $8.37 offer for just over 7 kilometers from KFC. As opposed to that KFC offer I declined just a bit earlier, this one's over $8 in pay, as opposed to the $6.60 offer that we got before. So while the ratio for dollars per kilometer is obviously pretty similar, much more likely to collect this one as it keeps me busier for longer and earning more money for longer. We begin our travel back to the center of Bacchus Marsh. After that successful delivery, we get a couple of orders that we were to decline here and here. Again, just around that dollar per kilometer ratio. I'm really hanging on an Uber Eats offer to come through any time now to begin our quest. Remember, we haven't even got our first Uber Eats order and we're almost 2 hours in here. Our luck somewhat changes on the way back. We're still continuing back on our way into the center of Bacchus Marsh, where we get this Macca's order, quite a low pay, but super low distance to cover. And it keeps us also in the middle of Bacchus Marsh. So that drop-off point there, I know I'm less than a kilometer away from my next pickup, hopefully. And less than a kilometer away, I was right on a kilometer actually. Next offer is finally an Uber Eats offer to begin our quest at last. So quickly got that previous Macca's offer done, and we had this burger shop offer come through. This is quite a new store to Bacchus Marsh. I have found sometimes, because it is an eat-in shop as well, so quite often you have customers, dining in the store. So obviously their food generally takes precedence to any delivery drivers. But on this occasion, the food was ready as soon as I got in there. So we got this order done in about 13 minutes to earn us $6.18 for driving 5.4 kilometers. Just before we drop off that order though, we did have this offer come through. A pickup from a cafe called OHD. Quite a low pay, but obviously being in the middle of a quest, we want to take as many orders as we can. I'll focus there a second as well on the fact that I got this offer come through to me before I delivered the previous delivery. This is one of those differences I want to highlight in a future video between Uber Eats and DoorDash as a delivery driver. While the Uber Eats app will offer you your next order before you've even delivered the last one, DoorDash doesn't have that feature, so you'll only get an offer once you've completed a delivery with DoorDash. So after a slight wait, we complete that second Uber Eats offer there in succession. And the next thing we have come through is a Coles shop and deliver, $11.95 for just a small order there. At this point, I hope you guys haven't, but I certainly have given up on the thought that we'll get through all of the deliveries required for our full quest. So I've kept the DoorDash app open at this stage, and any Coles shop and deliver orders or anything I would take on a regular day, I'm just going to take just to keep myself going as well. Before we even step foot in that Coles to complete that order, we have this order come through. If you've watched any of my previous videos, Coles add-ons I really don't take all too often, but you see here, this is one that I had to take. So if I see that I'm going to earn more dollars to items and the mileage isn't all that high, those factors sort of add up to an order that I'm going to accept. So we got those two done quite easily. The next order that come through was an order from an Indian restaurant. So this order completed the first of our blocks in our quest. So we got the third order done, $11.27 here for 7 kilometers, which took us about 25 minutes. The screenshot you see next to me here, $4.31 for no additional kilometers, as it's going to the same customer as another order I had come through, which was from Liquorland, an alcohol store here in Australia. So this add-on you see combined with that initial Liquorland order was for a total of $13.35 for 6.4 kilometers, which we got completed in 27 minutes. So right on that $30 per hour rate that I'm always aiming for. Once those two orders were dropped off to that customer, we did have quite a wait ahead of us. So much so that I decided to head back into the neighboring zone by DoorDash standards of Melton. On our way back there, we accepted this large Coles order to complete. There was also this add-on that came through, which I decided not to take. But yeah, completing this one took us almost to the end of our quest time, which was due to finish at 10 p.m. But yeah, as I said before, any Coles shop and deliver orders that I'd take anyway, I had decided to do so on this occasion as well. So just after completing that delivery there, we had the sixth and final Uber Eats delivery come through for our quest. So to complete the second part of our quest, the order we accepted was for just over $10, traveling a whole 17 kilometers, but we did complete it in only 25 minutes. The order was ready when we got there. The driving was mostly freeway driving, so I was able to sort of compartmentalize that in my head for the dollar versus kilometer ratio on this order. Even though our quest was finished for the night, my shift wasn't. So I did complete a few more deliveries, which I'll have some screenshots up of next to me here. I'll just run through them for you quickly. So first we had an $8.09 delivery traveling 6.8 kilometers from a pizza shop. Then we had, before the Coles in Melton was to close at 11 p.m, we had a large $18.45 order come through for us, which we had a $5.03 add-on for as well. So completed those. Then our last three orders were all basically orders you'd imagine to see on a graveyard shift. So $8.03 for a 9-kilometer service station pickup, $8.21 for a 6.8 kilometer Macca's delivery, and finally we had a $9.74 service station pickup, which took us half an hour to complete in total. So not the most economical end to the night, but I figured I had to make up for lost time that we had throughout the earlier parts of the night. So just to recap some totals from that shift we just went through there. We earned a total of $218.39 over the course of the night, which gave us an hourly earning rate of $26.09. We did, however, travel a total of 215 kilometers, which gave us an earnings to kilometer ratio of $1.01. In addition to some other factors that we'll go through shortly, that distance total is affected by travel I did getting to and from the zone back to home, as well as going from zone to zone trying to search for orders as well. From my experience, the main reason why this shift didn't probably go as well as the shift the night before was down to the glorious weather we were having in Melbourne. When you get better weather, it's not the sole reason why you're not going to do well overnight. There might be multiple things going on as well to affect that, but people obviously aren't at home on their phones ordering food. They're out and about enjoying the sun, enjoying good times as well. So you kind of got to take the good with the bad. You'll find if it's wet and rainy, stormy, cold, whatever else, people are going to be on the apps ordering, and as a DoorDasher or an Uber Eats delivery driver as well, you're probably going to get the better side of things there. Had I have taken that first order that came through the Coles shop and deliver through to Melton, who knows how the night would have gone. But yeah, we keep rolling. We'll move on to the next one, and we'll have our next video out for you shortly as the quest to complete a mega quest goes on. If you did enjoy this video, please, of course, give it a like. If you're enjoying the content as a whole, please do subscribe. And again, if you have any comments or any questions you'd like, whether you're a delivery driver yourself or you're just interested in what goes on day to day, please leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to interact with any that do come through. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.